Here are today's participants. First for the visitors from Norwood. Number 4, Zach Badger. Number 11, Owen Descharnay. Number 6, Francis Herman. Number 14, Ryan Sevilla. Number 22, Giacomo Salator. Number 25, Jerry Craig. Number 27, Mike Curran. Number 23, Joe Manning. Number 12, Griffin Kelly. Number 17, Vinny Loach. Number 5, Jaden Moreno. Number 1, Frankie Sheehan. Number 20, Patrick Connor. Number 10, Tom Benson. Number 16, Angel Oliveira. Number 9, Brian Whitman. Number 19, Chris Brenham. Number 21, Jacob Sheehan. Number 24, Jack Dwyer. Number 2, Sam Larkey. Number 18, Ryan Begley. Number 7, Mike Brenham. Number 13, Ryan Brenham. And number 3, Caden Sheehan. The head coach of Norwood is Kevin Igo, who's assisted by Paul Urka, Jim Sweeney, Tom O'Leary, and Jim Flynn. And now for the team members for the Somerset-Berkley Raiders. Number 1, Liam Meehan. Number 3, Jaden Cruz. Number 4, Jacoby Davidson. Number 5, Alex Crook. Number 6, Ryan Crook. Number 8, Ethan Santos. Number 10, Landon Richardson. Number 11, William Dion. Number 12, Gianni Papaleo. Number 13, Mason Medeiros. Number 15, Camden Hoyle. Number 16, Evan Isidorio. Number 18, Benjamin Jordan. Number 19, Kyle Shulman Jr. Number 22, Alex Medeiros. Number 23, Dante Papaleo. Number 24, Brady Carpenter. Number 25, Hayden Teasdale. Number 30, Zachary Carter. And number 99, Luke Thornton. The head coach of the Raiders is Jason Martin, who is assisted by Dave Gleason, Steve Meehan, Matt Dion, and Jason Thornton. And now fans, please stand and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello folks and welcome to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School. I'm Joe Pannell alongside Ed Hickey for the last remaining team in Norwood's tournament bid here in the spring season.
We've got a beautiful day here, Joe, huh? About 75 degrees, wind looks like it blowing just slightly to left field, and Norwood coming off a nice win over Longmeadow on Friday, so see if they can keep this run going. They're rated 10th.
They are the 10th seed, right?
And the Raiders of Somerset-Berkley are the 7th seed.
Yeah. So if Norwood's able to come down here and come up with a victory, it is an upset, but Very close in the standings, record-wise. Norwood 12-8 out of the Tri-Valley League, and Somerset-Berkley 15-5 out of the South Coast Conference. They've had some really close games lately, including a 1-0 victory over Durfee to close their season. A team that you were telling me earlier, Norwood's got some history against.
Yeah, going back many years, but Durfee always they got good baseball down this way. I mean, the best-known person out of Somerset, obviously, was Jerry Vermey many years ago. But Jimmy Sweeney, Coach Sweeney, was telling us, Joe, that they had 7 shutouts this year amongst their 15 wins. So 2 things. One, obviously, that shows that they got a pretty good pitching staff. And number 2, they must play pretty good defense. They don't give you extra outs if they're going to have shutouts. And they got a big, tall righty here, Joe, on the mound, huh?
Absolutely. This is Will Dion. So Dion got the save in their last game as they were able to take down West Springfield, who was the 26th seed to get here today. So Dion, after having only pitched 1 inning in which he struck out the side to collect that save, is out here today. It was interesting you noted, Ed, that they have so many shutouts so far. Landon Richardson is probably the ace of the team. He's out in right field this game. But Richardson, with 7 wins, is unavailable today as he threw 6 innings and is probably over the pitch count. So I guess if Norwood has a chance against a very good defensive team, it could be with their ace in right field.
Yeah. Norwood, on the other hand, played Friday. Badger threw 61 pitches in that game, and Jerry Fry came in relief. So they're both available, and we were told that Norwood is probably number 1 pitcher coming into this year who got hurt. Owen Deschanais may be available to throw a bit today. First time in a while. He had hurt his knee, I guess. So it's not an arm injury.
Right.
Hopefully he could, if they need him. He's a more tested. Last year he had a big win.
In the first round, right?
First round. He pitched, surprising, not a surprise, I guess, but to some it was, that Cropper did not pitch the first game last year for Norwood. Jack Cropper, who was, went to Northeastern to throw. They pitched Deschanais, and he pitched a great game to win. So he's a little bit more battle tested too. So
those are the buttons, I guess, that Kevin Igo presses, and he's done a nice job in his over 10 years here. And so it'll be Sam Larkey to lead things off. Larkey, the shortstop today, getting the leadoff spot for a very similar lineup to what Norwood threw out on Friday night against Longmeadow. Going from the windup is Dion, and gets that one in for the strike against Larkey. It'll be Larkey, followed by Giacomo Serator and Jerry Fry, then Jacob Sheehan, Angel Oliveria, and Zach Badger. As the pitch comes from Dion, Larkey takes it high, and then Frankie Hernan, Brian Dearborn, and Tom Benson to close out the lineup for Norwood. The extra hitter is Jacob Sheehan. He's in there batting for Jack Dwyer, who's the right fielder. Here's the pitch from Dion, and a line drive right up the middle. A great start for the Mustangs, and Sam Larkey is on base.
Larkey has moved his way up the order. Early in the season, when he was playing, he was hitting down in the order. He's a sophomore, probably the youngest kid on the team, I would suspect.
He at least tied for it in terms of grade level.
Yeah, so. He and I know who we had. We had a couple other sophomores from time to time, but he's been a regular shortstop, and he leads off and gives us something to start with here.
And clearly has a little bit of speed as Dion throws over there to first base. In the field here for Somerset-Berkley, number 99. Gotta love to see that on a baseball field. Luke Thornton is at first base. Camden Hoyle at second. Jaden Cruz at shortstop. And Alex Crook is at third. As this one hits the hands, it looks like. Maybe got the knob of the bat. But either way, Giacomo Serator is on base with a hit by pitch. And Norwood's got 2 on with nobody out. So that one rode a little bit tight on him. We'll bring up Jerry Fry, the first baseman. Ed was mentioning earlier that Jerry might be a bullpen option for Norwood, as the Mustangs have shuffled things around a little bit. Dearborn's in center field today, and Fry playing first base.
Yeah, Norwood got a chance here right off the bat. long ride down. It'd be nice to come out with a couple of runs here in the first inning.
It's been a great start for Norwood. Runs have been hard to come by against Somerset-Berkley this year, but a golden opportunity here early on. Fry is swinging, but Dion throws it right through him. Some good heat from the right-hander. Fry will be followed by Jacob Sheehan. Sheehan had a solid single in the first inning of the last game. That was Norwood's win against Longmeadow. Going from the stretch here is Dion. Does a couple checks back towards Larkey, and the pitch coming, and it's quickly 0-2.
So those two fastballs, he had he had a little something extra on those two. He's over right by Jerry Fry there.
Let's see if he dials up that fastball again. He likes his sign from Liam Meehan. Here comes the pitch from Dion. And it is high, but it gets by the catcher. And getting into third base without a throw is Larkey. So now Norwood's got a couple of ducks on the pond, second and third, and a 1-2 count here on the number 3 hitter, Jerry Fry.
Right. Yeah, the infield looking to the dugout, but a little early in the game with no score and nobody out here. They'll play back, their infielders. They're not going to try to choke off a run at this stage.
Somerset-Berkley has been very good at limiting runs, and Norwood has struggled offensively lately. They haven't put up more than 3 runs in a game since mid-May, and that is going to help Dion a bunch. He gets a big strikeout here as he fans Fry swinging. A lot of fastballs that at bat there as Jacob Sheehan now comes up to bat. Sheehan is the extra hitter today. He is batting for Jack Dwyer, who's the right fielder. Batting cleanup again after he was there in Norwood's win against Longmeadow on Friday. Pitch coming from Dion, and it's a ground ball to the right side, handled by the first baseman Thornton. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Norwood plates the first run of the game. It's an RBI for Jacob Sheehan and a run scored for Sam Larkey, and it's 1-0 Mustangs.
Yep, Sheehan did his job, put the ball in play on the ground there, and first baseman had a pretty easy play. He made a play, you could see, on Larkey at the plate, but Larkey easily slid in with the first Norwood run. And they still have Serator here in scoring position at third base.
Yeah, Dion is not quite out of the woods, and now he'll have to contend with Angel Oliveria, junior catcher for the Mustangs. First pitch coming, and takes a little bit off of that one. Looked like a curveball from where we're standing. Oliveria fouls it by the Norwood dugout, 0-1. Angel has been a rock behind the plate for the Mustangs this year. Starter now for a couple of years after Miles Kidd was doing the catching for a number of years for the Mustangs. Dion looks in, and he deals, and a ground ball right up the middle to the shortstop Cruz. The throw to first is in time to get Oliveria, but not before the Mustangs score a run. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left on. We're through a half an inning here at Somerset-Berkley. It's the Mustangs 1 and the Raiders 0. Welcome back to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School at Jim Sullivan Field. I'm Joe Pennell alongside Ed Hickey, and we go to the bottom of the first, Ed, as Zach Badger goes to work here for his second playoff game in a row. We were just talking a moment ago how the extra day of rest may be coming in handy for the Mustangs here.
Yeah, I've seen Badger throw a couple of times this year. He's not going to overpower you. He is typical of the pitching staff this year, and I remember talking to Kevin Igo before the season even started. Our guys will throw strikes, he said. And he has right away from 2 strikes. And
I was just going to say, you didn't jinx that one as it's quickly 0-2 on Jaden Cruz.
No, they may not take the bat out of these kids' hands, but they'll be around the plate, and they'll make them swing. And if their defense plays solid and they have a clean game, they should have a good chance of winning this game.
There's a ground ball out to first base, knocked down nicely by Jerry Fry, who recovers in time for the out. So a hard hit ball, but Fry got in front of it, kept it on the infield, and makes the nice play over to first base, 1 away.
Yeah, I saw Badger. I thought he pitched great against, I think the best win of the year for the Mustangs was against Zavarian. They beat him in extra innings, and tough conditions that night. Badger pitched great. He gave him 5 innings. Mike Curran came in and threw the last 4 and got the win in extra innings, but Badger was against probably the best hitting team that Norwood has faced, the Zavarian Hawks. He threw a terrific game that night. So
a lot of trust from Kevin Igo here, as Norwood will need to win to keep moving on. And he's continuing to get the ball over against Alex Crook now. Crook, the third baseman for Somerset-Berkley. Their ace pitcher who can't pitch today, Landon Richardson, is on deck. And there's a little pop-up that's sprayed out of play. So Crook stays alive here. After Richardson, it'll be Liam Meehan, the catcher, Luke Thornton at first base, Hayden Teasdale, the DH, and then wrapping up with Ben Jardin, Mason Medeiros, and Camden Hoyle for the hometown Raiders. Badger out of the windup. Misses a little bit low, and the count now 1-2. Somerset-Berkley 15-5 out of the South Coast Conference. They dropped their last game of the season against Seekonk, but are coming off a nice little win streak right before that. So they won 4 out of 5 to close the season. Norwood, on the other hand, was limping into the playoffs a little bit, but hopefully they got themselves in the right footing with that win against Longmeadow on Friday.
Yeah, unusual for an Igo team too.
Pitch coming, and Badger gets him to chase. The senior gets a strikeout here of Alex Crook, and there are 2 down.
Yeah.
So that brings up Landon Richardson. Richardson is towards the top, if not the top, in the South Coast Conference with 7 wins this year, and also batting third, playing right field. So this is a heck of a player and one of the captains for this Raiders team. That's from the right-hand side against the right-hander Badger. And Badger misses just upstairs. That was close. Big strike zone here with Richardson standing in. Badger's pitch now. And he gets that one over quickly, 1-1. Norwood on the infield has Jerry Fry at first base, Tom Benson at second, Sam Larkey at short, Frankie Hernan is at third. As this one is outside. Left to right in the outfield, Giacomo Serator, Brian Dearborn, and Jack Dwyer. Angel Oliveria doing the catching, and the aforementioned Zach Badger on the mound. So here comes the 1-1 from Badger. Foul tip into the glove of Oliveria. Nice snag by Angel.
Well, we see Norwood has a little bit different outfield with Dearborn playing in center, but this is a big field, Joe. Coach Sweeney was telling us down the lines almost 350 feet both ways, so we just missed there. So you want to cover those gaps, and you can see there's to hit a home run here, you're going to really have to poke one today.
Neither of these teams huge power hitting teams. Norwood hasn't really been known for that this season, and only 1 home run this year from Somerset-Berkley. That was by their catcher, Liam Meehan. This one is fouled away as Richardson stays alive here. The aforementioned Meehan is on deck. Little bit of a trip down. The kids from Norwood got out a little bit early from school at 2:15.
I heard that. Yeah, they were happy probably about that.
They were very excited about that, I'm sure. Got down here in plenty of time, and as Ed mentioned, a beautiful day for baseball.
Nice pitch.
And he freezes him on that one. Second strikeout of the inning as he catches Landon Richardson looking. So a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Zach Badger. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We're through 1 here from Somerset-Berkley. It's Norwood 1, SB nothing. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School. Joe Panola, Ed Hickey with you. Really nice pitching that last half an inning from Zach Badger, and here he comes, Ed, to lead off the top of the second.
Yep. Yeah,
nice to see the pitcher hitting for himself, right? A little old school National League baseball stuff.
Yeah, he's a good, Zach's had a good year. He puts his bat on the ball. He's not a big kid, so he's not, I don't think he's going to hit a ball over the fence, but he hits line drives, and Igo likes that in all his plays. To try to put your bat on the ball, make the other team make a few plays.
Yeah, put it in play, good things happen. Not quite the 3 true outcomes that you see in a lot of the big-time power hitters in the pros, but always room for a guy like that.
Yeah.
And Badger takes a strike there, so it goes to 2-1 on him. Yeah. Badger was a starter last year on a Norwood team that made a little bit of a run in the playoffs, but ultimately fell to number 1 Milton. There's a ground ball. Towards second base, it's gloved there by Hoyle, throws to first in time for the out, and quickly one away for Will Dion. So that brings up Frankie Hernan, the third baseman. Hernan got the start at third in Norwood's victory over Longmeadow, and he's right back there today. Senior heading to, I believe, UMass, as so many of these Norwood kids are. Pitch coming from Dion, and first pitch swinging is Hernan. He grounds it to third base. Gloving and firing it over to first base is Alex Crook. And a very quick start for Somerset-Berkley as they retire the first two batters. And now Dion will have to contend with Brian Dearborn, the center fielder. Dearborn with some good speed. He's been tearing up the bases a bit for Norwood, so it could be a little bit of a menace if he gets on here for the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, he's led off in the order for a good portion of the season, but you're right, Joe. He's probably, well, him and Dwyer, very, very fast. And
there's a strike.
He's interesting. He's I always think of him, the Ricky Henderson type. He throws lefty, but he bats righty here.
That's right. Yeah, usually you see a little bit more of it the other way around,
Absolutely, right?
Chases that one in the dirt. Always nice to hear somebody compared to Ricky Henderson, though, in any kind of way.
If you can run like him, steal bases, yeah.
Finds himself in a hole here, though, 0-2, and just barely gets a piece of that one. He was a little bit late on the high heat from Dion, but just got enough to foul it into the trees. Tom Benson, who got the big hit for Norwood towards the end of last week, is on deck. Pitch coming and taps it towards the second baseman Hoyle. Throwing to first base and 3 ground balls and 3 outs for Will Dion, who settled down nicely. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on. We are through 1.5 here at Somerset-Berkley. Mustangs 1, Raiders nothing. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School. Joe Panola, Ed Hickey. Ed, we were just commenting on how fast this game is moving, and we hope that continues to be the case here for Zach Badger. He'll contend with 4, 5, and 6 in the Raider lineup, and it'll be the catcher Liam Meehan to lead things off.
Yeah, he pours a strike right in there, Joe, just on cue. He's right around the plate.
Zach's been doing that so far today. Going out of the windup. Gets Meehan way out in front of that one. Boy, he was swinging out of his shoes, and the count now 0-2. Meehan has some power as he's got a home run already this year. So he's a guy you don't want to make a big mistake to. And he drills this one out towards right field. Dwyer lines it up and makes the grab. So Meehan puts it in play and gives it a little bit of a ride, but Jack Dwyer had him played perfectly for the first out. That'll bring up Luke Thornton, the first baseman, wearing that Wayne Gretzky number 99. I don't think I'm going to get enough of that. You don't see that often on the baseball field, but here he is. First baseman batting from the right-hand side. Badger deals, and bit of a half swing from Thornton. Says he went around, though, so it's quickly 0-1. So Badger continuing to pound the strike zone here. He deals. Not on that one, though, as he misses a little bit outside. The on-deck batter is the DH for Somerset-Berkley, Hayden Teasdale. And here's the pitch from the senior Badger, and Teasdale gives it a ride to right. Dwyer lines it up again, and he's busy this inning. Second play in a row that Jack Dwyer has made, and they're quickly 2 away.
Yep. Nice, easy plays. One thing about working fast like this and throwing strikes, your defense is on their toes. They expect the ball to be hit. And Dwyer made 2 easy, what do they say, can of corn.
There we go.
It was as easy as that.
Had it lined up perfectly both times. So here is Hayden Teasdale. He's not in the field today, but playing designated hitter. He is batting for the pitcher Will Dion. So 1-0 here on number 25 for the Raiders. Jack Dwyer certainly on his toes after the first 2. Interesting to see both right-handed batters go to right field here. 2-0 now. You were saying that, Zach pounds the strike zone, not the most overpowering, but they haven't really been pulling it on him so far.
And the funny thing, both balls there, but he's right around the plate.
Pitch coming, and Teasdale takes a strike, so 1-2.
Yeah, when Badger misses, it's close all the time. He's still right there. As a hitter, you gotta respect that.
Pitch coming, took something off that one. So 3-1, and a good hitter's count now for Hayden Teasdale. Ben Jardin, the left fielder, would be next. So Badger takes an extra moment to collect himself here, and now goes back from the windup. Pitch coming to Teasdale, and he missed outside. And so Hayden Teasdale is the first base runner of the day for Somerset-Berkley as he reaches on a walk. Just after Ed, we were commenting on how he's doing a great job with the strike zone.
He's still right around the plate, and it doesn't look like Teasdale is going to be a threat to run, to be honest with you.
Not a big lead off first base. Right. Ben Jardin, it's a ground ball to third base. To shortstop, actually, and the throw to first is in time. Nice play from Sam Larkey. I wasn't sure if Hernan was going to cut it off, but Larkey had to get that throw over in a hurry, and he did. So no runs, no hits. There was a walk, though, and one left on. We're through 2 here from Somerset-Berkley, still 1-0 Mustangs. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley. This game is flying along as the Mustangs hold a 1-0 lead over the Raiders, heading into the top of the third. And it'll be Friday night's hero, Tom Benson, to lead things off. Batting left-handed against the righty Will Dion, and Benson takes low for ball one. Tell you, watching that clip on NCM, and you can always go back to watch video on demand, Benson got to third base and the teammates ran out of that dugout in a hurry. That's got to be a heck of a feeling for the sophomore second baseman.
Yeah, I asked somebody, I said, was it a walk-off hit? And they said, yeah, and it was a good, a good hit, a legitimate gap shot that, played the run, and that's I guess the way you want to end a game like that, because it was very well played. I understand. Yeah.
Right. Benson shows bunt at least for a moment, and it looks like he offered at it, so the count now goes to 2-2. Yeah, it was certainly not one of those, it'll show up as a line drive in the scorebook.
Right.
He really got all of it. It was a great attempt from the Longmeadow center fielder to try to come down with it. Yeah. As kind of watching the game on replay, I think Mark Hoover had a moment of hesitation too, thinking that he might come up with it. But Benson was able to get the hit, run into third base all the way for a triple, and it was just a great way to end the first playoff game, we hope, of many here for Norwood. Swings at this one and grounds to shortstop. Jaden Cruz is there and makes a throw over to first base in time. So Benson is retired 6-3, excuse me. So that's 4 straight putouts, 6 straight putouts on ground balls for Will Dion. Who maybe he's got a little bit of a sinker ball going on here.
I think he does, and I think it certainly looks like this infield's a pretty solid infield for the Raiders. This shortstop looks smooth. He charges the ball well.
Let's see if, I thought he was going to have to do it again, but it comes right back to Dion. He gloves it himself. And that's the 7th in a row retired on the ground as Sam Larkey, first pitch swinging, grounds out to the pitcher. So quickly 2 away, and that brings up Giacomo Serator. Serator was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Kind of came in real close on the hands. Might have grabbed the knob of the bat or gone off the side of his hand there. And he hits a hot shot, gets through right past the third baseman Crook. It's bobbled in left field, at least for a moment, by Ben Jardin. But he gets it on, and it'll be a base hit for Giacomo Serator, who's on base for the second time today. So a little bit of a 2-out rally might be starting to commence for the Mustangs as Jerry Fry comes to the plate. Fry is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat, and now gets another chance here with a man on base. Decent-sized lead for Serator off first as Dion operates out of the stretch. Pitch coming, and it's a little bit low, 1-0.
Yeah, we got a good look here, Joe, at the lead that Giacomo's got over there. Perfect sight line here, and he's got a pretty good lead. And Coach Igo's a pretty aggressive coach, I think. It'd be interesting to see with 2 outs whether he'll send him and test this catcher's arm early in the game.
Clearly, Dion is thinking along the lines of what we are as he threw over to first base. Sarator, though, keeps that same lead that he had. Now he deals towards home plate. Sarator is not going, and Fry takes downstairs. Fry, a senior, I believe one of 5 or 6 on this Mustang roster.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty good mix. No freshmen on the roster. There are 2 freshmen on Somerset-Berkley's roster, but neither of them in the lineup today. Pitch coming from Dion, and there's a line drive. Nice play from Jaden Cruz, and the throw is in time. Boy, this infield edge is flashing the leather, and a great play from Jaden Cruz retires the side.
The little guy, boy, he got a gun. Yeah.
So no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on for the Mustangs. We are through 3.5 here at Somerset-Berkley. It's the Mustangs 1 and the Raiders nothing. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School and Jim Sullivan Field. I'm Joe Panola alongside Ed Hickey. Zach Badger goes to work here against the bottom of the Somerset-Berkley lineup. It'll be the 8th place hitter, Mason Medeiros, to lead things off. And Medeiros takes a little bit low. Medeiros was 2 for 3 and had 2 ribbies in Somerset-Berkley's win on Saturday against West Springfield. So he's on a little bit of a heater right now, especially with the Raiders winning 5 of their last 6. Swings through this one, and a nice play off the foul tip from Oliveria. They'll be followed by Camden Hoyle, the second baseman, and then back to the top of the order in Jaden Cruz. So Badger, the right-hander, deals to the right-handed hitting Medeiros. Gets that over for a strike, and now 1-2. It's been a quick game. Somerset-Berkley's infield has been really impressive thus far. And Norwood keeping the ball in front of them as well. They've been great behind Badger, who's given up only the 1 walk thus far. Pitch coming, and off the end of the bat here, that's going to find some grass. A base hit for Mason Medeiros, and the first hit of the game for the Raiders. I guess, Ed, there's that classic announcer jinx, although I didn't say no-hitter. He does lose it on the base hit there from Medeiros.
Little loop. Good pitch, but 0-2 pitch, but he just, like you said, Medeiros is hot, and it fell in for him. Interesting to see if they bunt him here.
Big lead at first base, and Medeiros is going. The throw down to second base is in time. They get him. What a throw from Oliveria, and a really nice tag, Ed, from Sam Larkey, who fielded it there in the dirt and applied it in time to get Medeiros. Caught stealing.
He may actually even come off the base there. Larkey was sharp because he kept that tag right on him the whole time. Like I said, he dug that out. That was a nice play by this. Good strong throw, but it was Larkey's pick.
So a pitcher's best friend there. And this one is as well, as it's a pop-up in foul ground. Fry calls for it, and the first baseman retires Camden Hoyle. So 2 away here, now with the bases empty, and we're back to the top of the lineup in Jaden Cruz. Cruz has done a really nice job with the leather thus far today, as he's made a number of putouts. He's officially 0 for 1 today. He grounded to the first baseman Fry to lead off the game for Somerset-Berkley. So Badger now has faced everyone in the Raider lineup and goes to work against Cruz, and it's a bunt.
Beautiful
that Badger
bunt.
will have to field himself and decides against throwing it down to first base. Just a beautiful bunt in the right spot, and Cruz collects the bunt single to keep the inning alive.
Yep, perfect bunt.
Now Cruz is another one to watch on the bases. He's got 15 steals already this year, by far the team leader for the Raiders. So they just ran into an out with Medeiros. Let's see if they do the same thing here with Alex Crook now at the dish. Badger is watching him closely and makes the throw over to first base. And Medeiros is back in quickly. Badger hasn't had to operate out of the stretch much today, but he does here with 2 outs. A big lead, the runner not going, and it's a ground ball to shortstop. Larkey with the backhand. The throw to first base is off the bag, but going to third base is Cruz, and he is gunned out there.
Nice play by Fry.
Almost did a little leapfrog to get around the tag from Hernan, but Fry was aware on the play, and the Raiders run into 2 outs in the inning and come away with no runs. So there were 2 hits, ultimately no runs, no errors, and 1 left on. We're through 3 here at Somerset-Berkley. It's still the Mustangs 1 and the Raiders nothing. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School. Joe Panola and Ed Hickey with you, with Ron Marshalsea on camera. The Mustangs will try to get some extra runs here, and they will try to do so with Jacob Sheehan, the extra hitter, and he swings through that Will Dion pitch for strike one. Somerset-Berkley had a really interesting bottom of the third. They had 2 hits in the inning, but they were caught stealing as a ground ball to third base that's gloved by Crook, and he throws out Sheehan. They were caught stealing with Mason Medeiros and then ran into an out at third base as Jerry Fry alertly threw over to Frankie Hernan to end the inning. So Sheehan grounds to third base as he's now he's grounded out for the second time today. And that'll bring up Angel Oliveria. Oliveria made the wonderful throw not long ago to gun out Medeiros in the field, although he was certainly aided by a nice tag from Sam Larkey. And now this one will scoop by the third baseman Crook, and Oliveria reaches on an error.
He hit that ball hard, but right at the third baseman, and it snuck between the legs.
So Angel is now on base, and it looks like he'll come out for a runner here. Looks like this will be number 12 for the Mustangs. I think that's Griffin Kelly. So the junior will run now at first base for the catcher, Oliveria. Gets his signals from his coach. And now Zach Badger will bat.
Yeah, and for those who don't realize, this substitution pattern is that you can sub for your starter, and I'm sure that next inning, Angel will be back behind the plate. So they put a much quicker, faster runner and Kelly in. And you can do that. Now, once the sub comes out of the game, he unfortunately is done for the day. He cannot go back in. But you can sub any of the starters with someone either quicker or whatever your preference. Yeah.
They still calling that the old speed-up rule, right?
Yeah.
It just helps the game move along, get the catcher, get the equipment on, or maybe just give him a breather.
I think that, and I obviously Kelly's much quicker than Angel is, but it's a good thing for a coach like Igo, because Kevin is the type that he likes to have a lot of players on his roster, and it gives him an opportunity to get kids in the game. I mean, it may only be as a pinch runner here, but in an important game like this, it could make the difference and keeps all the kids in the game. You're not just playing 9 or 10 guys.
So Kelly takes his lead off first base, and there's a little inside-out swing, but it's gloved by the second baseman. So Camden Hoyle will retire Zach Badger for the second out of the inning.
Right. Joe, you know who the hardest working person is here today?
I think I know who you're going to reference with grabbing that bat there.
The bat, I tell you, young Sweeney, he's unbelievable. He's quicker than some of these guys, too. He runs out there, grabs the bat, and he's back in the dugout. But
he is at every game, too.
Yep. Jimmy Sweeney's son, I bet you he'll be a ball player, too. Yeah.
This one a little bit in the dirt here to number 6, Frankie Hernan. Tell you, he's got the good bloodlines for it.
He certainly does.
Jimmy Sweeney, as your father, was a great pitcher at Norwood for a number of years, and then pitching in some minor league ball. So Hernan grounded to third base in his first at bat. Griffin Kelly, the runner on first base, he came in there for the speed-up rule for Oliveria. So, as Ed was mentioning, we imagine that Angel will be right back in the game, and Kelly is just getting the pinch run duties. So Dion stares into Meehan and gets his sign, gives a look over to Kelly at first base. Kelly is not going, and the pitch to Hernan is over there for a strike. Good pitch, looks like he painted the outside corner there, and Hernan let it go by. Brian Dearborn would be next for the Mustangs if Hernan is to keep the inning going. Pitch coming, and there's a strike, and no throw from the catcher as it's a stolen base for Griffin Kelly, who gets down.
Yeah, no throw. That was a little weird, huh?
Almost had me questioning for a moment if that was strike 3, the way the catcher didn't react.
Yeah.
So either way, Kelly is now in scoring position with 2 outs and a big chance for Frankie Hernan, the senior. Dion looks back to second base, now does so a second time. And here's the pitch. Hernan, another inside-out swing. This one goes right to Hoyle. Does a nice job with a tricky hop. and retires the side. So a stolen base from Kelly there and an error on the third baseman, but Somerset-Berkley gets out of it, and now we're through 3.5. Still Mustangs 1, Raiders 0. Hello folks, and welcome back to Somerset-Berkley. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and now number 10 batting here for the Raiders. Ground to the third base, and a really nice scoop there from Frankie Hernan in time for the out. So Luke Richardson hit it hard, but the Mustang defense was right there. A great play from Hernan for the first out on the first pitch from Badger.
You know, Joey, a key to that too was look where he's playing. You know, if he's playing even with the bag, but he understands this is the heart of their order, and he's playing back a little, and he was able to snuff that out, because that was hit on the nose and would have been a base hit into left field. But Hernan, good position and then a nice play.
Pitcher's best friend, right? When you get a great infield like the Mustangs have.
Yeah.
So Badger out of the windup, and there's another ball in the infield. Comes right to second base. Nice play by Tom Benson over there, and he gets the second out of the inning. So back-to-back ground balls, and that brings up number 99, Luke Thornton.
You love 99, don't you?
I tell you, that's the hockey fan in me.
Did you get to wear that number yourself? Huh?
I was...
going back, you would now.
17 was my favorite, and I liked 37. The old Casey Stengel Mets number.
All right.
That was the team I grew up
I won't even
for.
mention the fact that you're from New York. We'll just...
Hey, at least I'm not a Yankee fan, right?
Hey, all right.
Badger gets this over for a strike. Thornton flied out to right field. His last at bat hit it pretty hard, but right at Jack Dwyer there, as did Liam Meehan, who was just retired on that ground out to second base. Fouling this one away is Thornton, and it is quickly 0-2. So still 1-0 Mustangs. They got a run in the first inning. First two guys got on, and the Mustangs were able to bring home Sam Larkey with, to this point, the game's only run. Here's the pitch from Badger, and a ground ball to shortstop this time. Let's keep all the infielders active.
Yep.
And a nice job from Sam Larkey to retire the side. So Hernan makes one play, Benson makes the second, and Larkey makes the third. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We're through 4. Mustangs 1, Raiders 0. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley Regional High School. Joe Panola and Ed Hickey with Ron Marshalsea on camera. Ed, this game is flying right along.
Yeah.
The Mustangs hope it'll hit a little bit of a snag here as they can get a couple of runs. And they'll try to start things off here with Brian Dearborn to go against the right-hander Will Dion. First pitch from Dion is over for a strike.
Let's see if we can put a little pressure on him. We get some speed here with Dearborn, Benson, and Larkey due up here.
Dearborn certainly has some speed, but he swings through this one. I think second time today that Dearborn has really chased a ball in the dirt, and he quickly finds himself down 0-2. Will Dion collected the save for Somerset-Berkley in their last win, and chasing one in the dirt again is Dearborn, but it almost gets by the catcher. Meehan makes the throw to first base, and Dearborn is retired on the strikeout. So a little bit of a hairy strikeout there for the Raiders, but ultimately Dearborn is retired for the second time today, and that brings up the only lefty in Norwood's lineup, Tom Benson. Interesting that the only lefty is the ninth place hitter.
Ninth hitter, yeah.
I guess Coach Igo not really playing a whole matchups-based approach here. Benson swings at the first pitch and hits a soft grounder. Hoyle will have to hurry, and he does. Gets it to first base in time to retire the speedy Benson 4-3.
Terrific play there by the second baseman.
Both infields have looked phenomenal so far. In fact, there's been many balls hit to the second, third base, and shortstops, and only one error between both teams combined to this point.
You know, part of that, Joe, is we look out here. It looks like a really nice field here. You know, Coach Sweeney was saying they didn't play on it for a couple of years to let it really settle in, and it just looks like the infielders are confident they're going to get true bounces here.
Yeah, none of those strange hops. Let's see if one happens here. Comes to the third baseman, Crook, and he gets him in time.
Wow.
Great throw from Alex Crook at third base, and he retires the speedy Sam Larkey. So just as quickly as the inning started, it ends. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We're already through 4.5 here at Somerset-Berkley, and it is still 1-0 Mustangs. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley. Joe Panola, Ed Hickey, and Ron Marshalsea on cameras. This game, as we've been hearing from some of the Somerset-Berkley fans, is very typical of the way the Raiders have been playing. A lot of low-scoring contests, and we got another one here today. One of the only Raiders to reach base today so far is Hayden Teasdale, and he is the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Badger has kept his pitch count down to this point as he contends with Teasdale, and it's popped up, coming a little bit towards our way. A couple of fans taking cover, and ultimately the ball falls harmlessly out of play. So with the sun shining pretty brightly here today on a beautiful day, a lot of people looking up, hoping not to get hit by that one. And Badger will go right back to work attacking against Teasdale. Out of the windup, here comes the pitch to the right-hander, and Teasdale hits it off the end of the bat. Hernan bobbles it at first, but gathers and makes a strong throw to first in time for the out.
Yep, plenty of time. Teasdale, big kid, hustles down the line, but Frankie Hernan knew he had plenty of time. He kept that ball in front of him and fundamentally did the right thing. Picked the ball up with his bare hand, didn't put it in his glove. So easy play, really, for Frankie.
So that brings up Mason Medeiros. Medeiros takes inside there. He had the first hit of the game for Somerset-Berkley. It was a little bit of a bloop shot out to right field, but then he was erased, caught stealing with the number 9 place hitter at the dish. Medeiros on a heater lately. He was 2 for 3 in his last game in their win against West Springfield, and now already has a hit today. So the 8th place hitter, certainly someone the Mustangs want to watch out for. Badger into the windup. He deals. And another ground ball towards third. It's gloved ultimately by the shortstop, Larkey. Throws high, and it gets over the first baseman, Fry's head. Got to be a high throw to get over Jerry's head.
Yeah.
He's got some height there.
Yeah.
And reaching on the error for this, or reaching for the second time today. Excuse me, that is not Mason Medeiros. My apologies. Is Ben Jardin.
Right.
So, apologies that we got the batter wrong there.
He may have, I don't know, you give him a hit or an error. There's close play. I mean, perfect throw gets him. He was high with it, but he had to go deep in the hole. Good backup, though. Benson and Oliveira down there backing up, and Benny picked the ball up against the fence there to keep the runner on first.
So here is now Mason Medeiros as Jardin reaches there. Medeiros hits another squibber off the end of the bat. Benson decides to go to second, but that's all they'll get as they retire Jardin, on the fielder's choice.
Yep.
So 2 away now in the inning, and that brings up Camden Hoyle. So we're a little bit eager, I guess, in sending Medeiros to the dish, but ultimately he finds his way to first base. Medeiros was running, I believe, on the first pitch the last time that he was on base, and Oliveira threw him out. So we'll see if Badger throws over. He doesn't, and there's a fly ball down the line, giving it some chase, but ultimately falling out of play. Sarator was right there. I think John Badger probably had the best shot at making the catch.
Exactly. Jack's father could have made that play, but he deferred, I guess.
Proudly wearing his UMass hat as Zach will be heading there next year. And a quick snap throw over to first base. And Medeiros is back in time. So this time Badger does decide to keep an eye on the runner. Medeiros was not running on the foul ball, but let's see if he does here. Batter is the second baseman, Camden Hoyle. And Hoyle sends this one out to right field. Jack Dwyer comes in and gloves it for the out. So Dwyer has been solid in right field, and the Mustangs continue to be solid overall defensively as they hold the Raiders off the scoreboard again. No runs, no hits. There was a maybe, depending on the official score, an error. But either way, no runs for the Raiders. We are through 5. It is still 1-0 Mustangs.
Right, let's see if we can get some insurance here, huh?
Welcome back to Somerset-Berkley. Joe Panola, Ed Hickey, and Ron Marshalsea on camera. was starting to feel like Mariano Rivera was coming into the game
Yeah.
as we were listening to some Metallica there. But instead it is Will Dion continuing on the mound here in the 6th. He's been great for Somerset so far. 5 innings of 1-run ball. But now he contends here with Giacomo Serratore. And Serratore, has been a bit of his kryptonite today. He hit him on the hands in Giacomo's first at-bat, and then the Norwood left fielder reached on a single back in the 3rd. Here's a ground ball to third base, gloved by the Norwood coach, who makes a nice throw back to the mound. Sign him up.
Tom O'Leary, Jr., terrific player at Westwood High School many years ago, I would say. We should mention, all right.
He's not going to like to hear the
no,
many
but Palmer
years ago
Jr.
part of that.
is a great player at Westwood, and he's a third base coach, and at first base is Jimmy Flynn. That's 2 of Coach Igo's staff.
So Jim Sweeney in the dugout. He is officially, I believe, the pitching coach according to the roster.
Well, it's funny. People say that he's a pitching coach, but Sweeney was a terrific hitter, both at Norwood and at Holy Cross, where he played college, but became a pitcher when he got signed by the White Sox. And, of course, we got one other guy, Paul Urka, down there. We're never sure what he does, but he's been with Coach Igo.
Just don't show Paul this broadcast then.
Right. Well, he knows. Yeah.
So is he officially the bench coach then?
He's
guy
a bench
that kinda
coach.
Keeps everyone's tempers in
Well,
line.
we found out what he did the day it rained against Severian because they had him run out there with the speedy dry. That was his job, and he did a great job doing that. I don't know if he knows one thing about the game of baseball, but could be a groundskeeper.
That's right.
So
I tell you, we got to get George Tolman on that role, isn't he?
Yes.
Studying turf science or so.
Yeah, Jack's son is going to. That might be his profession. Yeah.
So Serratore strikes out here as Benson gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. Norwood's done a great job of putting the ball in play. Dion averages over a strikeout per inning for Somerset-Berkley, but the Mustangs have done a good job making contact against him.
Yeah.
This one is a bit inside to Jerry Fry. Fry is 0 for 2. He struck out back in the 1st, and he grounded out to shortstop back in the 3rd.
Yeah, we need Jerry to hit a gap shot here.
I was waiting for it to happen, Ed.
Yeah.
You just got to keep calling it, and eventually we're going to get it, right?
In this game, I mean, 1 or 2 really big hits could be the difference. I don't know. There's only been a couple of hard hit balls.
So far, that's been the case. The Mustangs manufactured the run back in the 1st inning as Larkey got on with a leadoff base hit. Then Serratore got on base after being hit by the pitch. They advanced both on a wild pitch, and ultimately Larkey came in on the ground ball to first base hit by Jacob Sheehan. So tell you that's how you're going to get your runs against this team, as the Raiders have been so good at preventing them this year. So Dion, who has been great since that 1st inning, will deal here. A little number off the end of the bat, and it stays in the air long enough for Alex Crook to grab it.
Yeah.
So 2 away in the inning, and that brings up Jacob Sheehan. Sheehan has the game's only RBI, but he has grounded out twice, once to first base and once to 3rd.
He's a DH, essentially. He's a catcher, but of course with Angel, who is an outstandingly good junior catcher.
Ooh, look how that one comes high and tight and goes over the catcher's head.
He found his way about halfway through the season into the lineup. He played a lot of right field for Coach Igo. His first 2 games, he got 4 hits and then 3 hits. He had 7 hits in his first 2 games when he inserted him into the lineup, and they have not been able to get him out of there.
Here's another hit. Tell you're not going to get him out of there based on that. So Sheehan collects the hit, so he is 1 for 3 today, and that will bring up Angel Oliveria. So the Mustangs get their first hit since the 3rd inning here, and now with 2 away, we'll try to get some 2-out magic going. It looks like we're going to get some action in the bullpen coming down here.
Jerry Fry.
So Jerry will be loosening up as the Mustangs will get him loose down the left field line. Mike Grennan will be doing the catching. So this will bring up Oliveria. He reached on an error his last at bat and also grounded out to shortstop back in the 1st. Pretty big lead over at first base for Sheehan. He's not going though, and Angel swings and pops it up. Looks like it'll quickly go out of play as Thornton gives it a little bit of a watch. So Angel's hit to 3rd base, even though it was technically an error on Crook, was really well stung. Hit so hard, went right through his legs. He was ultimately replaced via the speed-up rule by Griffin Kelly as a pinch runner. But he's back in the game to catch.
Here he
Running
goes.
on the play is Sheehan. The throw down to second base is in plenty of time, and Sheehan is gunned down. The Mustangs, just like the Raiders did earlier, run into an out here. And so we are now through 5.5. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on. The Mustangs will try to keep the Raiders at bay. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th right after this. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley. Joe Panola, Ed Hickey with you. Zach Badger has some tough work to do here in the bottom of the 6th as the top of the lineup comes to bat for the Raiders. It'll be Jaden Cruz, Alex Crook, and Landon Richardson. 1-0 still in favor of the Mustangs as Cruz takes ball 1. The Mustangs are getting their bullpen active. We saw Jerry Fry getting some warm-up tosses before the inning. And nice to see Owen Descharnay getting some tosses in now just to our left. So the Mustangs have really the whole cupboard available to them as far as pitchers today. Nobody's really on pitch count restrictions, but Badger is giving them some length here, and that could be really valuable if the Mustangs move along. Showing bunt is Cruz, and he takes ball 3.
Yeah.
We know Jaden is dangerous, has some great speed, reached on a bunt hit earlier.
Well, he's got Hernan playing just in front of the bag for fear of that bunt.
Yeah, pretty shallow for Frankie from where he usually plays. He is showing bunt, pulls it back, and it is a strike anyway. Had a feeling he might do that, offer and pull it back just to distract the pitcher.
He's trying to get a walk here.
3-1 here. Cruz is not someone you want to put on base. He's got 15 steals already this year. Badger out of the windup, deals to the right-hander, and it's a ground ball towards the right side. That'll find its way through, and a leadoff hit for Jaden Cruz, and the Raiders are hoping to be in business here in the bottom of the 6th. Second hit of the game for Cruz, and now that brings up Alex Crook. And perhaps more importantly, the Raiders have their speed demon right on first base.
Coach Igo thinks a bunt's coming. He's got Hernan way in here on the grass.
Pretty big lead over at first base for Cruz. He's not going, and the bunt is up the first baseline. Fry handles it himself. Cruz doesn't make the turn, so the sacrifice goes to the first baseman. And now a runner on second and 1 away for the Raiders, and that'll bring up the meat of their order. Here comes the 3-hitter, the right fielder Landon Richardson. Richardson is the ace of this Raiders staff, although he's unavailable today due to pitch count restrictions. Badger operates out of the stretch as he stares into Oliveria, gives 1 look, 2 looks back to second, and deals a pop-up here on the infield. Badger is under it, and he makes the catch. Big pitch from Zach Badger as he retires the number 3 hitter Richardson on a pop-out to the mound.
Yeah, Badger very comfortable fielding that pop-up. He has played a lot of second base for Coach Igo. Some pitches you'd wonder whether it might hit him in the head. That was an easy play for Zach for the second out.
So here is Liam Meehan, the catcher, and he gets a little bit on top of that one and grounds it towards the Mustang dugout. I tell you, sometimes fielding that position on the mound is one of the toughest things you can do.
Absolutely.
Not everybody is like Greg Maddux out there. But Badger was ready for that one and makes the big putout. So the Mustang bullpen now has gone quiet for a moment. Pitch coming to me and is skied out towards right field. Dearborn actually in center field calls off Dwyer and makes the grab for the 3rd out.
Yeah.
So it could have been a little hairy as the leadoff hitter, the speed demon Cruz, reached, but Badger gets an out on the bunt, gets a pop out, and then retires the cleanup hitter Meehan on a fly out to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. We're heading to the 7th, Ed, and it is still 1-0 Mustangs. We'll be back. Welcome back, folks, to Somerset-Berkley in this round of 16 matchup as the Mustangs look to punch their ticket to the Elite 8. There's already 1 game in the books today, although watching this on video on demand, you will know all of the results. Westfield is moving on today as number 3 Westfield defeated number 19 Neshoba Regional. The Mustangs are trying to become the 2nd team to do this, and Angel Oliveria will try to get things started here in the 7th. The last inning for the Mustangs ended with a caught stealing as Jacob Sheehan was gunned down from Liam Meehan, who has looked quite good behind the dish. He's got quite an arm.
Yeah, he's a good catcher. Their whole, I tell you, their defense is excellent. I mean,
only one error in the game, and that was on the Somerset-Berkley side on the ball that Oliveri hit not all that long ago. If you are just joining us or you've just forwarded to this point, the ball that was in the hole that Sam Larkey threw a little bit over the first baseman's head would have been a close play anyway, and our official scorer, Ed Hickey, has declared it to be a hit.
Nice.
So I guess if you're adjusting your scorebooks, give Ben Jardin a base hit on that one.
Absolutely. You got to give him a break there. Larkey made a nice play, but we
defense has been good either way. Here's the pitch to Oliveria, and he skies this one foul. So tell you, the houses behind the field here at Somerset-Berkley
right there,
are going to be finding their yards full of baseballs. Kind of see that blue house and that red one off in the distance by the camera. I hope they've got some pretty sturdy windows there.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch to Angel. He gets a little bit out in front of it and hits a number towards the mound. Nice play from Dion, who tosses it underhand to first base, and Angel is retired for the second time today. So that brings up Zach Badger. Badger, as we were commenting between innings, has looked fantastic on the mound, just seemed confident today in what could be his last game in a Mustang uniform, although we hear he's going to be playing some Legion ball.
Yeah.
Comes up here, and first pitch swings a little bit out of his shoes and fouls it away. Badger is 0 for 2 today. He's hit the ball to the right side both times, grounded out to second base, and then hit a little bit of a soft liner out towards Camden Hoyle there in his second at bat back in the 4th. Now looking to help his own cause and chases one in the dirt. Tell you, we haven't seen a lot of strikeouts today, Ed, but Will Dion has been very effective with some of those pitches in the dirt. He's gotten a lot of chases from the Mustangs.
Yeah, Norwood hasn't hit the ball real hard either, but
I don't think he's going to chase that one.
No.
As Dion bounces it in there. Will Dion has been fantastic today. We know the Raiders have a real stud in their ace with Landon Richardson, but Dion got the save in their last game by striking out the side. And outside of the run in the first inning, which the Mustangs really manufactured, he's been really good here. Looks like Badger with that half swing got barely a piece of that one to stay alive.
Himself.
Now, Will strikes out over a batter an inning. He hasn't quite done that today. He's got 3 strikeouts through 6 1/3. Badger as well hasn't gotten a lot of strikeouts. He's only got 2 on his ledger. As that hits a hot shot towards third base. I was waiting for Tom O'Leary to give a diving attempt on that one.
Yeah.
After you were talking up his Westwood career.
Right, years ago he would have put that in his back pocket, but he's lost more than one step.
Here's the pitch coming to Badger, and Badger once again is making Dion work here. We haven't seen too much from the Raider bullpen thus far. The Mustangs have gotten a lot of action, as we saw Fry warming up. We saw Descharnay a little while ago getting some warm-up tosses in there. But it seems like first-year head coach Jason Martin is just kind of letting Dion throw today. So Badger with an upright stance here, still with 2 strikes on him, trying to keep the at-bat going. Pitch coming in, and Badger once again sprays it foul. Richardson has a chance, dives, and he almost came up with it. Did a good job protecting his head.
Yeah.
But I tell you, you're a senior, you're a captain on this team. I think you're going to make business decisions second on balls like that.
Yeah.
So Zach Badger certainly knows what it's like to watch that pitch count as he is working deep in this game. He is making Dion earn it if Dion is going to retire him here. Looks like we'll get the balls swapped out here. And Badger stands in once again. He has fouled 3 straight pitches off as Dion has tried to get the strikeout. Now he likes his sign from Meehan and comes to the plate. Badger off the end of the bat, stays alive. Tell you, if you're Frankie Hernan on deck, Ed, you're loving this. You're getting a really nice look.
Yeah.
As Dion is making his way through the 3rd time through the order. Here's the pitch to Badger, and this time it's in play. A ground ball towards short. Cruz makes a nice play and throws it over to first base. Nice play from Jaden as Badger is retired 6-3 on the putout. So 2 away now for Frankie Hernan. Hernan has grounded out to third base back in the second and grounded out to second back in the fourth. As you see some shots of that wonderful Somerset-Berkley infield. Tell you, if the Raiders are able to scrounge out a run or two in the 7th inning and stay alive or win this game, their infield is going to be a big reason why.
Yeah, they are very good.
So here's the pitch to Hernan.
Ooh.
And a little bit of gas on that one. So Dion showing that he's still got it here in the 7th inning. Quickly 0-1 on the Mustang third baseman. This time Hernan takes low. Seems to be a pattern, Ed, that Dion is going with the fastball early in the count and then trying to get guys to chase.
He does, and they have chased a little bit. They don't pick up that curveball, I guess, quite so good.
This one is just outside. Dion wanted it as he shakes his head back a bit. So now 2-1 on the senior for the Mustangs. Brian Dearborn would be next if Hernan is able to reach. Pitch coming downstairs, so a good hitter's count for Frankie now at 3-1 as the Mustangs look to tack on some insurance. Regardless of the outcome here, Ed, you think we're seeing Badger for another inning coming up next?
I think so, believe it or not, but I think it's a short leash.
Ground ball to third base.
Nice hop.
And Hernan's counterpart, Crook, throws him out at first.
Yep.
So this has been a pitcher's duel right from the start. It'll come down to it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Mustangs go 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, no errors. And let's see what we got going on for the mound here. We'll stay with you for the time being to get a sense of what the Mustangs are going to run out defensively. They're giving us a little bit of suspense here as we hear some shipping up to Boston coming. And there he is.
Yeah.
Doing that stroll to the mound is Zach Badger. He's coming out to finish what he started, Ed. The Mustangs will stick with a lot of the same defensive crew as they've got Fry still over at first base with Benson, Larkey and Hernan rounding out the infield. Sarator, Dearborn, and Jack Dwyer in the outfield, and Oliveria still doing the catching.
Yeah, I don't think you can take a guy who's thrown like Badger out until he gets into some trouble, and hopefully I thought last inning, I think you were mentioning it sort of, Joe, was that was a key inning because they had the top of their order up, and obviously their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming after the top hitter they got on first base, and Badger took care of those, the meat of their order. So I think he's facing what? He probably faced 5, 6, 7 here. Is that right?
That's well. Let's see. He's got Luke Thornton, yes, number 5 to lead things off.
Yeah. So
Hayden Teasdale and then Ben Jardin. So even though this is the bottom of the order, it is getting to the part of the order that Badger has struggled with a little bit today. He's retired Thornton twice, but Teasdale has reached on a walk. Jardin has a hit today, and Medeiros has a hit today. So a lot of confidence from Coach Igo, and here we go. Buckle up. Bottom of the 7th. First pitch coming to Thornton is over for a strike.
Yeah.
It was low in the zone. I wasn't sure he was going to get the call there, Ed, but he did.
Yeah, that's where he wants to keep it. Keep the ball on the ground.
His infield has been quite good here. Badger out of the windup to the right-handed hitting Thornton. It's down the line at third base. Nice play from Hernan and throws him out at first. One out.
Yeah, covered the line. Frankie was playing back a little. Wasn't as concerned about a bunt in any sort. And got a nice bounce backhanded and made a nice, I'll tell you, he's got a nice strong arm and it seems to be very accurate. So
that'll bring up Hayden Teasdale, the designated hitter wearing number 25. He drew a walk in his first at-bat today and grounded out in his second. If the Mustangs were to hold the Raiders to no runs in this inning, they would move on to play the winner of number 2 Plymouth North against number 18 Masconomet Regional. That game will be happening tomorrow at Plymouth North at 4 p.m. Teasdale grounds it to the mound, and Badger snags it.
Yeah, looked like an infielder there, Badger.
What a play from Badger, and there are 2 away, and the Mustangs can taste it.
Yeah.
So Ben Jardin, number 18, will be the batter. The left fielder is 1 out of 2 today. He grounded out to third base back in the second and reached on an infield hit back in the fifth. Here's the pitch from Badger. And he gets strike one over as he's done time and time again today.
Yeah, absolutely right, Joe. That's been a key for him. He's worked ahead on almost everybody. Geez,
The Mustangs looking to move to the Elite Eight. Here's the pitch. Oh, tried to get him to chase, and the count now 1-1. The on-deck hitter, Mason Medeiros, has been possibly the hottest hitter on the Raiders team. He is not someone the Mustangs want to see bat here. The pitch to Jardin is popped up foul, and now a pitcher's count for Badger at 1-2.
Yeah.
Mustangs traveled a long way today, getting out of school a little bit early, at least for the underclassmen.
Yeah.
And now Badger is 1 strike away. Pitch coming, and it's smashed down the line. This one will go well out of play, and we'll do it again at 1-2. No action in the Mustang bullpen. We have to imagine that it would be Jerry Fry, the first baseman, if there's trouble here. But it's Badger to try to finish what he started. He's been fantastic today so far. Here's the pitch to Jardin. A little bit high and tight, and the count now 2-2. Zach Badger, one of a number of seniors on this Mustang team. The umpire will brush off home plate a bit for him as Zach will look to collect another strikeout. Going from the windup here. He deals to the right-hander Jardin. Got him looking, strike three,
pitch.
And the Mustangs are moving on. Zach Badger throws an absolute gem. 7 innings, no runs. The senior goes the distance for the shutout, keeps the Mustangs bullpen fresh for their next game, and they will be playing the winner of number 2 Plymouth North against number 18 Masconomet. Great game for the Mustangs, who started things with a bang. It was Sam Larkey leading off the game with a base hit up the middle. Giacomo Serratore was hit by a pitch. And ultimately, after a wild pitch that enabled the two to advance, it was Jacob Sheehan grounding it to first base, getting the Mustangs their only run. Badger was fantastic. Oliveria called a great game. And the defense for the Mustangs, no errors.
No.
And that made a big difference.
I tell you, that was as good a high school game as you're going to see. You know, fundamentally, obviously, did not a lot of hitting, but pitching on both teams, defense on both teams was very good. And who would have thought that early in the game, Joe, you're calling it, that they score that first run and it's going to hold up in a game like this? I mean, Jimmy Sweeney was talking beforehand that he said we always feel we can scratch a couple of runs, and I'm sure they felt the same way.
Right.
That all year they played close games. They had 7 shutouts, but they could scratch a run or two. Well, Badger didn't give him the chance. He just kept pouring strikes, and his infield played great behind him. All 4 kids in the infield played great. So, this is as good a win as they're going to have. I think anything goes now. I mean, Plymouth North, we know, is a very, very good team. Their program down there in Plymouth is good. But
they're the number 2 seed for a reason,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. And we know how good Walpole is. They're the number 1 seed. And but Norwood, they got Descharnay potentially to throw a little, and they got Jerry Fry rested for the next game. So they won't take a back seat on the mound, at least. Let's hope that the bats come alive just a little bit more and keep this run going. Yeah.
So you see Coach Igo talking to the team.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine that was Badger he just tossed the game ball to.
Well, I would think so.
Just a great all-around game. And Badger kind of bookended it, too. He had 3 strikeouts in the whole game, 7 innings shutout, but he got 2 big ones in the first inning to shut down the top of their lineup, and he got a big one to punctuate a huge win send the Mustangs to the round of 8.
Yeah, nice pitch. Hey, you know who the all-star of this whole thing was, Joe? Our job's easy. When Tolman only sends one person down here.
Oh, for sure.
Marshalsea did a great job, as usual. A single man on the camera, set up everything. So we got to thank Ronnie Marshalsea. Did a great job today for us. Made things easy, too.
For sure.
We were able to get all the information. And you used it good, Joe. You know the different both teams. You know, a lot of times the other team, we don't have a real understanding of what they're all about, especially almost an hour away from us.
Coming down South Coast Conference, right?
Exactly. But yeah, that was good. I want to thank Ronnie and Jack Tolman for that. So.
Well, thanks to them for the opportunity. Ron did a fantastic job repping his NHS pregame hat. I'm sure Brian Gagliard and the crew will be very happy to see it.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us, and thanks to Ed as well for coming on down, making the drive. Yeah. It'll be another drive for the Mustangs as they head to Plymouth. But certainly that'll be a one that they're very excited for. The Mustangs making some noise this year in the tournament. For Ed Hickey, I'm Joe Panola. Have a great evening, folks, and we'll catch you at the next game very soon.